So today, guys, was actually a really good week for resets, and I think a lot of you guys will find at least one or two items you really need. There were some God rolls, and there were even some regular rolls just for your recalibration library that you guys might need to pick up that were fully maxed out. So we head over here, Mr. Roy in New York City. He actually has a really solid piece right here, this Walker and Harris chest. The one piece, remember, gives you 5% weapon damage. We have weapon damage, skill damage, which you could either roll crit chance or headshot damage, and then it has critical hit damage, and then it has an empty gear mod slot, and then it has the talent Headhunter. After killing an enemy with a headshot, your next weapon hit within 30 seconds deals an additional 125% of that killing blow damage. Now, this is probably one of the best pieces to run if you're going to run a one-shot pistol build, or if you're going to run a sniper build. This talent right here is it. Now, if you guys don't have one of these, I'd recommend probably picking one of these up, and then that way you could have a solid piece that later on you could upgrade once you get better rolls. But yeah, this is the one piece I would get from here. There wasn't really too much that I would shop here. Now, there is one more vendor in New York City that we typically don't go and hit, and then we'll hit the clan vendor here since it's the same vendor whether you're in New York City or in DC. So this vendor right here, Mr. Marco, he actually has, if you keep scrolling down, he has a critical hit damage mod, 10.3%, that I would pick up if you guys haven't got one of them. Really solid. They also have a Providence backpack that has weapon damage, crit chance. You can put crit damage and it has bloodsucker. So if you guys are looking at building a build with this and you just need solid rolls, well, this might be for you. But if we head down to the vendor, now remember, like I said, this vendor is the same vendor that you see in DC or you see here. So we'll head right here. This vendor actually has the name Providence chest piece, the sacrifice with max out weapon damage. And then it has skill hates, which I would either put crit chance, crit damage, or headshot damage. And it has hazard protection. And then that is the one thing. So typically what I would do, I would probably put crit chance or crit damage and just leave the hazard protection. And then it has perfect glass cannon. All damage you deal is amplified by 30%. All damage you take in is amplified by 60%. If you don't have one of these and you've been looking for one, this is a good starter piece. Or if you guys just want that 15% weapon damage, you can put that in your recalibration library. So either way. Now they do have a tip of the spear mask with weapon damage, weapon handling. They do have the future initiative with skill tier. I would put repair skills on there. God rolled right after that. They have their Eclipse protocol gloves, which I use on my skill build, and it has skill tier, and then I would just roll skill damage. Sorry, no status effects. And then everything else was pretty solid. They did have 2 SMGs. You can pick on which one you want that are maxed out with 15% SMG damage, and you can put that in your recalibration library. Now, both of these are average weapons. I don't really like them too much. The converted SMG 9 does hit pretty hard, and the rate of fire isn't bad, so you can change that reload speed to damage targets out of cover. And Vindictive isn't a bad talent, so that's a solid one, but nothing too crazy here. I would more likely use for that 50% SMG damage. We keep going down, and nothing else I saw here that I liked, but they did have these gloves, these assault rifle gloves. If you guys are looking at building hazard protection builds and you want to use these Fenris gloves, well, this has weapon damage, almost maxed out hazard protection, and then you could change the weapon handling, crit chance, or crit damage. Now, if you guys just need the rolls, they're almost maxed out, and you could fill up your recalibration library. And if we keep going down, nothing else I would really pick up here unless you really need this shield mod with 4.5% holster regeneration. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna head back to DC, and now that we already saw the clan vendor, we don't even have to worry about checking out any of the other vendors. So what we'll do is we'll hit the theater. So we just arrived at Theater Settlement, and they're gonna have a God roll that I would pick up. It's, well, almost God roll. Let me not say God roll. These Fox Pair knee pads, they have weapon damage, damage to targets out of cover, and headshot damage. I actually use these same knee pads on my one-hit pistol build, and I like it. And I'm gonna tell you guys, this thing is actually pretty solid. Max out that weapon damage, or if you want to put a little bit more armor, you could. It already has the headshot damage, and then it has damage to targets out of cover as always. But yeah, the Fox Pair name knee pads, definitely, if you guys don't have one pair of these, pick them up, put them on your build. Don't worry about that 10% rifle damage. This is actually one of the meta pieces that you can put on a lot of your DPS builds. So yeah, grab this, and it's gonna cost you 15,000 credits. If we keep going down, there wasn't anything else besides these gloves that had 15% weapon damage, and I would just use this for my recalibration library. Keep going down, nothing else here, just some more mods. But yeah, the main thing you guys want to pick up are these Foxberry knee pads, and if you need this 15% weapon damage roll. Now the next item is right here at the vendor at the campus. Now this is just going to be for the roll if you guys need it. It's going to be the darkness. It has a 15% marksman rifle damage roll. So if you need to max out your recalibration library to use this 15% marksman rifle damage, well this is the piece right here. You guys can just grab this. I didn't really see anything else. They did have this custom L86. It had LMG damage to target out of cover, and damage to armor, plus unhinged. It's a solid roll, nothing too crazy. If you guys are looking for this LMG, it's actually one of the more popular LMGs that a lot of people end up using. Well, you guys can pick it up right here at this vendor, but there wasn't really anything else I would grab here. Now there is one DZ item, and we're gonna get to that in a second, but we're gonna stop at the White House because we're gonna check out the vendor at the front. So right at the front of the White House, the rolls here aren't too great. They do have an MP5 with pretty solid rolls with SMG damage, crit chance, and then you can change that reload speed for damage target out of cover, and it has a talent killer. Pretty solid, but I would actually pick up, if you're looking, the reason why I want you guys to come here, if you guys were looking at maxing out your recalibration library and you need the weapon handling, well they do have a Petrov backpack with maxed out weapon handling. You can throw that right there on your recalibration library. But everything else here was pretty average, nothing too crazy. Now there is one item, like I said, at the DZ East vendor. We'll head over there right now. So once you guys arrive to DZ East, the one item you guys want to pick up is right here. It's called the White Death. Probably one of the hardest hitting sniper rifle builds in the game that is not an exotic. It has marksman rifle damage. It has 137% headshot damage, which is more maxed out than what you could put on any build because it comes with the extra headshot damage that you can't get on any other weapon. And because it's called the White Death, it's the named marksman rifle. Now it does have damage to targets out of cover, which is great. The only thing I would do is I would actually change out breadbasket for either ranger. I think a lot of you guys will love this and then fully max it out. So if you guys don't have one of these and you're looking at getting a starter one, this one is the one that's going to cost you some DZ resources. So you have to go to DZ, get those resources, and then once you have the resources, then you can come exchange it for the White Death. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the rest of the video. There's nothing else I saw in the DZ, and I think a lot of you guys will enjoy these items. So hopefully you guys found something for you, and then hopefully you guys are able to max out those recalibration library. All right guys, I'll wrap it up here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Appreciate the sword, appreciate the love. Until the next one, hey, nothing but skills is out.